There's a strange and terrible comfort in the idea that the world, as we know it, must eventually end. Across the millennia, the Norse skalds sat by their fires, weaving a tale not of salvation, but of inevitable ruin. They looked at the sturdy pillars of their Universia, the gods, the cosmos, the order of Thingsa, and saw the rot already setting in. They knew that the sky was not an eternal canopy, but a ceiling waiting to collapse. This is Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. It is the myth that asks, if you knew exactly when and how you would die, and that victory was impossible, how would you face the end? It echoes in our blood today because it is the ultimate story of courage in the face of a dying light. To understand the end, we must look at the beginning of this age, the age that the Norse called the Fimbulwinter. In this cosmos, the great world tree, Yggdrasil, holds the 9 realms together, its roots drinking from 3 magical wells. High above in Asgard, the Aesir gods Ragna Odin, the All-Father who hung from the tree for wisdom. Thor, the defender of mankind with his thundering hammer Mjolnir, and the trickster Loki, whose blood runs with the chaos of the giants. This is a world of stark contrasts. Ice and fire, order and chaos, gods and giants, bound together by a fragile oath. But beneath the roots of the tree, in the dark, mist-choked realm of Niflheim, something is stirring. The wolf Fenrir, son of Loki, grows too large for his chains. The world serpent Jörmungandr, encircling the globe, coils tighter. And in Hela's cold kingdom, the dishonored dead gather their armies. The gods know what is coming. They do not avert their eyes. They sharpen their swords. The prophecy begins not with a bang, but with a shivering of the moral fabric. It is the Fimbulwinter, 3 long winters that follow one after another without a summer in between. Snow falls from every corner of the sky. The sun loses its warmth, and the world is plunged into a biting freeze. But the cold outside is matched by the ice in the hearts of men. Brothers turn against brothers, sons kill their fathers, and the bonds of Kinshipa, the very glue of Norse society, dissolve into envy and bloodlust. It is a time when morality is the first casualty. The world becomes a Wolfa age. Then the alarms sound. The rooster jailer crows in the forest of the giants, waking the warriors of Jotunheim. In Valhalla, the golden hall of the slain, the rooster Gullinkambie crows to the Einherjar, the dead warriors chosen by Odin. A third rooster, rust red, crows in the underworld. The chains shatter. Fenrir, the monstrous wolf whose upper jaw scrapes the sky and lower jaw the earth, breaks free from his magical ribbon. Jörmungandr, the Midgard serpent, thrashes from the depths of the ocean, creating a tidal wave that swallows the land, spewing venom into the air. The sky splits open. Naglfar, the horrific ship made entirely from the fingernails of the dead, arrives to ferry the giants to war. Surtr, the fire giant from the south, advances with a sword that burns brighter than the sun. The realms collide. Bifrost, the rainbow bridge connecting Asgard to Midgard, fractures under the weight of the giants' march, a brilliant arc of light shattering into the abyss below. Odin, wearing his golden helmet and spear Gungnir, leads the gods and the Einherjar onto the vast, shimmering plain called Vigrid. They are outnumbered. They are doomed, but they do not falter. It is here, on this field of dust and doom, that the ancient debts are paid in blood. Odin charges at Fenrir, the great wolf of destiny. The All-Father has sought wisdom for centuries, sacrificing an eye for knowledge. But wisdom cannot bite as hard as a beast born of chaos. Fenrir swallows Odin whole. The king of the gods is gone, silenced forever in the belly of the beast. The silence of the field is broken by a roar of vengeancia. Odina, as his son Vidar, the silent god, steps forward. Wearing a shoe crafted from the scraps of leather discarded by cobblers throughout time, he kicks open Fenrir's jaw and tears the wolf apart, ending the terror, though his father does not return. Nearby, Thor confronts his ancient nemesis, Jörmungandr. Thunder crashes against poison. Thor swings his hammer Mjolnir with the force of a collapsing star, striking the Serpenta-esque skull and killing the monster instantly. It is a victory, but it is a poison one. The Thor takes 9 steps back. The venom of the worm is in his veins. He falls. The protector of mankind lies dead upon the grass, his hammer useless beside him. Heimdall, the guardian of the bridge, and Loki, the trickster who brought the monsters into the world, finally meet. They're the final pair of enemies, mirror images of watchfulness and deceit. They fight with a fury that shakes the stars. Heimdall strikes Loki down, but the god falls himself, his life extinguished alongside the tricksters. One by one, the lights of the pantheon are snuffed out. Frey falls to Surtr. Tyr, the one-handed god of war, falls to Garm, the hound of hell. The field is a slaughterhouse of legends. When the dust settles and the screams fade, only Surtr remains. The fire giant spreads his wings and casts his fire across the entirety of the 9 realms. The stars turn black and fall from the sky like weeping tears. The great wolf Hati swallows the sun. His brother Skoll swallows the moon. The earth sinks into the sea, not just drowned, but dissolved by fire. The universe returns to the void from which it came. There is no sound, no light, no warmth. The cosmos holds its breath. But in the Norse understanding of time, the end is never truly the end. Time is a circle, not a line. Slowly, the earth begins to rise again from the churning waters. Green shoots pierce the scorched earth. It is a new world, cleaner and more beautiful than the old. The sun, reborn from a daughter who escaped before her mother was devoured, touches the new grass. A few survivors emerge from the shadows of the world tree. The sons of Thor, Modi and Magnia, meaning courage, and Strengtha walk the new earth, carrying their father-ass hammer. Balder, the beautiful god who was killed by treachery earlier in the myths, returns from the dead, reconciled with his brother Hod. They gather together in the golden grass of Ida Plain, a place that was never scorched. They speak of the past, of the glory and the ruin of fathers and sons. And from the protective forest of Hodmimra Esholt, 2 human survivors emerge, Lif and Lifthraser alive and will to live. They are the seeds of a new humanity, destined to repopulate a world that has washed away its sins in fire. What did this story mean to the Vikings? It was a mirror of their harsh reality. They lived in a landscape where winter was a genuine threat to survival, where the sea could turn against them, and where battle was the only path to honor. Ragnarok taught them that order is a temporary achievement, constantly threatened by the chaos of the wild. It taught them that entropy is the natural state of the universe. Most importantly, it taught them that courage is not the absence of fear, but the will to stand and fight even when the outcome is written in stone. The gods did not die cowering. They died with weapons in hand. That was the ultimate ideal. This is the legacy of Ragnarok. It is etched into the very language of the North. The word Ragnarok is often confused with Ragnarok, the Twilight, but it is the final destiny of the gods. We see it today in our own pop culture, in our stories of zombie apocalypses and climate disasters, and in the phrase,